if ever I lost the part, forgive me. And secondly, if ever I lost the part, I would blame myself. I'd feel like, oh shit, I didn't pay enough attention, and that would make me beat me up on the inside. So that's another area where my memory for things was kind of heightened, because I was always trying to memorize. Okay, where did I put this piece? Where did I put that piece? And I'd always keep a strong track on it. And I actually used to hate it when my mum would go around behind me and tidy up after me, because she'd move things and then I wouldn't know where it was. And I'd be like, oh, where is it? And I get all like agitated in the spirit, because I feel like, oh no, I can't control the situation. Because that's what it all boils down to. All these things I'm talking about is about my way of trying to deal with reality. Because when you're a child, you're at the mercy of everything that's going on around you. Like, if your parents say, okay, we're going to visit our grandma today, you're going to your grandma's. If your parents say, oh, we're going shopping today, you're going shopping. You don't have any say on what's going on. You're just absorbing what's going on around you as a child. And for me, everything I was trying to do is to try and gain control of my circumstances by memorizing things, by paying attention to what people say, by not talking so much myself and just thinking a lot. I became very introspective. Now, introspection is another key factor that you need to have in this truth, man. You need to know thyself. And in order to know thyself, you have to turn that light inwards sometimes. And oftentimes, a lot of people are afraid to do that because they're scared of that they might unearth. But you have to do that because you have to know yourself. Because if you don't know yourself, how can you grow? How can you become a better person? You're just going to keep repeating the same mistakes if you're never being introspective. So saying all that to say this, so life was like that for a while, for a few months, and my mum got a paraffin heater. Now, a paraffin heater is one that you fill with paraffin oil. And I think you get it from the petrol stations. And we had that one heater, and my mum would put cardboard on the floor, so we'd sit on the cardboard part so you wouldn't get splinters. And here's a funny thing, man. For games, my brother would push me around in a cardboard box. That was games we play. I mean, yes, as children, you learn to adapt to your circumstances, but again, it was just very hard. And another thing is that it was around that time when I started to hear voices. I said that I'm kind of retreading the old ground that I said in my last testimony, but what the hell? I'll just say it and I'll move on to the next parts, Lord willing. But just to reiterate some things, for those who haven't seen it, or those who have seen it and maybe forgotten, I don't know. But it was around that time that I started to hear voices, and I could tell that the voices in my head were not mine. And sometimes the voices would be telling me to throw myself out of the upstairs bedroom window. And I'd be like, why? And the spirit, because it was a spirit, would say to me, oh, because you're so unhappy. And if you was to die, you wouldn't be unhappy anymore, and you wouldn't have to suffer so much in the circumstances that you're in. So it was a very seductive voice that was talking to me in my head. And I knew it wasn't me. I knew it wasn't my voice because I'd be arguing with it and I'd be saying, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to throw myself out the window. I want to be brave, and I want to be strong, and I want to overcome things. I don't want to be a loser, you know? And it didn't happen every day, but every so often, it was usually when I was feeling low in the spirit. Maybe if like my mum had tried to give me breakfast and I didn't want to eat it and she had a go at me or something like that. I remember it would be around those kind of times when I was low that this spirit would come. I didn't see it physically, but I could hear it in my head. Why don't you just throw yourself out of the bedroom window? And I was like, well, I'm not big enough to open the window. And then it would say, but if you stand at one end of the room, and maybe if you used to run and jump at the window, you'd break the glass and you'd fall and you land on the concrete outside and you'd be dead. And I'd hear this and I'd be like, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But every so often this voice would come up. Now, one day, I remember it was a Sunday, I was lying in the bed because me and my mum and my brother used to share one bed because that's all we had. I was lying in the bed by myself and my mum and my brother were up doing stuff. And in my head, this voice was talking to me and it was saying, you're so unhappy here. You should end it. You should do it today. You should throw yourself out of the window today and you'll be dead and you'll escape all of this hell that you're experiencing. And I said, but I don't want to do that. and it was saying to me, but you're unhappy here. You're not happy. You'd be much happier if you were dead. Blah 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 blah. And I said, this is where I put my foot down. I said, look, I'm gonna try and get through today. And if I can get through today, I'm never gonna consider throwing myself out the window and killing myself again. Let me just see if I can make it through today. And I said to myself, because if I can make it through today, I can make it through anything. And I said that to the spirit in my mind. I wasn't talking in my mouth. I was like having this back and forth conversation in my head. And I said, no, I'm going to try and get through today. And if I can get through today, I can get through anything, right? And I said that. And I lived that day and I got through it. And from that point on, that spirit never came to talk to me in that same way, to try and tempt me to kill myself, because I'd overcome it. Because I said, look, no, man, if I can make it through today, I can make it through anything. And that sentence has stuck with me all my life. So whenever I've been in adverse situations and I'm like, you're caught up in all kinds of I've been in situations, and you'll be thinking to yourself, boy, this is some real deep shit. That sentence comes back to me, if I can make it through today, I can make it through anything, so I'm going to stop this testimony here, and Lord willing, I'll continue to speak the next parts tomorrow, because I kind of want to keep the momentum going on this thing, because it's like a snowball, man. Start small, push it down a hill, it builds up, and when I don't do it, it gets harder to start doing it again. So I've got to keep it up, because as I said, there's a lot I'm going to talk about in terms of my life experiences and personal testimonies, and again, I need to get it out there. It's high time. I don't want to be the guy that hid his talent in a napkin. And if it's edifying to somebody out there, I don't know who's listening, I don't know who's watching and learning, but if it's edifying to one person, then it's worth it. And even if I don't, even if nobody's listening, you still got to prophesy into the wind, And what do the scriptures say? They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Let me get that one to close out. Is that Revelation 11? I believe it might be. Yeah. No, it's not Revelation 11. Is it Revelation 14? It's not there. Let me find it. Bury blood of the Lamb. Just close out on this one. Revelation 12 and 11. 12 and 10, Salakia. And I heard a last voice from heaven saying, now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our power, and the power of his Hamashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. Here's the point. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. So this is part of how we come, man, through the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. All right? So that's that, man. So I want to close out here. Lord willing, I'll continue tomorrow. Lord willing. So with that, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakah. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone of all well. And shalom to you, Akim, that are teaching this word around the globe with faith and truth and sincerity. And until the next one, Lord willing, I say shalom, what a bubble, welcome, Mashallah. Shalom for now.